Good morning, class 11. Welcome back. We were in chapter number 1, sets. So, yesterday we have discussed a few topics. Let's move ahead in the chapter. Today we will discuss about subsets of real numbers, intervals as subsets of real numbers. Real numbers are usually denoted by capital R. Cardinal number of a set, power set, and universal set. So, coming to the first thing, subsets we have discussed yesterday. Part of a set is a subset. Right? Now subsets of real numbers. See children, we know that natural numbers are the subset of whole numbers. Right? Also whole numbers are the subset of integers. Integers represented by capital Z. Then we know that integers are the subsets of rational numbers. Integers are the subsets of rational numbers. Then you also have irrational numbers. Usually irrational numbers are represented by T. So irrational numbers are also real numbers. So irrational numbers are the set of real numbers and rational numbers are also the subsets of real numbers. Okay. So whatever we have studied till date in the number system, the largest set is the set of real numbers. All the other sets of the number system are its subset. Till date, this is what we have studied. Maybe when we move ahead in our grade 11, we can study that in number system we have something else also. So you can say, if this entire set represents set of all the real numbers, then this represents set of all the rational numbers and this is the set of all the irrational numbers. Irrational numbers represented by T, rational numbers represented by Q. This parent set of real numbers. Now, integers are the subsets of rational numbers. They are contained inside integers. Whole numbers are the set of whole numbers is a subset of Z. Then set of natural numbers is a subset of whole numbers. Understood? So natural numbers, all the natural numbers are whole numbers. Then whole numbers, all the whole numbers are integers. All the integers are rational. All the rational numbers are real numbers. All the irrational numbers are also real numbers. Okay? So irrational number, the set of irrational number does not have any other subset. But here set of rational numbers has other subsets also. So all these are subsets of R. Individually if you say set of natural number is also a subset of real numbers. Set of whole numbers is also a subset of real numbers. Like for example when you say 2 is a factor of 4. And 4 is a factor of 8. 2 is a factor of 4, 4 is a factor of 8. So 2 is also a factor of 8. Understood? So in the same way, if n is a subset of W and W is a subset of R, then n is also a subset of R. So individually, every other set is a subset of capital R, that is set of real numbers. Okay? Now, coming to the second point. Intervals as subsets. Let us understand. You must have studied in your previous classes the number line, the concept of number line, representation of a number on the number line. It can be rational number, it can be irrational number, it can be an integer, it can be natural number, whole number, whatever it is. But representation of a number on the number line is a well-known concept to you all. Now, if I say I have a set, now first let us say let A comma B belong to R are any two natural numbers such that A is less than B. Okay? A and B are any two natural real numbers and A is less than B. A is smaller than B. Now I have a set A. A is equal to general element X such that X belongs to R and A less than X less than B. What does it mean? X is a real number, A and B are also real. Value of X is greater than value of A, but it is less than value of B. So X lies somewhere in between A and B. It means all the numbers on the number line which are greater than A and less than B, they form this set A. So this is the number line. I have A here and B here. According to the given set, the value of X is not equal to A. So I cannot take this. Value of B is also not equal to A. But all other values which are greater than A but less than B are the distinct values of X. A is not included, B is not included. So how do we write X in the form of an interval? So X belongs to A comma B. This open brackets, simple brackets. So this is called an open interval. This is called an open interval. Suppose I say set B is equal to X such that X belongs to R and A is less than equal to X is less than equal to B. It means X is A and more than A but less than B, B included. X is equal to A, X is equal to B. Also X is greater than A but less than B. So from A to B all the values are the distinct values of X. X can assume any value. So this is the number line. Number line stretches positive infinity on the right side and minus infinity on the left side. Right? So A, B. A is included. So dark. B is also included and all the values in between. So X can be anywhere ranging from A to B. So how do I write in the form of an interval? I write X belongs to A comma B. This square bracket, it represents closed interval. Simple bracket, it represents open interval. Curved bracket, it represents open interval. Square bracket, it represents closed interval. This is a closed interval. Okay, right? I hope you understood. Open interval, closed interval. Or enhancement we will discuss later. Okay, so I hope you understood set A and B. This was open interval, this is closed interval. Now I have a set C which is given as X such that X belongs to R and A is less than equal to X which is less than B. So value of X is A and more than A but less than B. X is not equal to B. So A is included in all the values of X but B is not included in it. So this is the number line. Minus infinity to plus infinity. We have A, we have B. B is not included. A is included. And all the values from A to more than A but less than B. Okay. So here how do I write X in terms of interval? X belongs to A is included but B is not included. Okay. This is closed at one end and open at another end. Open means the extreme point is not included. Closed means the extreme point is included. So X can assume the value of A because it is closed here. A is one of the किसी भी interval में you have any interval. These two A and B are called as extreme points of the interval. So the extreme points may be excluded. Yeah, both the extreme points may be included. If both the extreme points are excluded, then it is open interval. If both the extreme points are included, then it is a closed interval. But here, it is neither completely closed nor completely open. So you can call this as left closed interval or right open interval. You can call it in any way. You can call it as left closed interval or right open interval. Okay, children, I hope you got this. Now, if I have a set D is equal to x such that x belongs to R and A less than x less than equal to B. So it means x is not equal to A, but x is greater than A up to B. B is also included. All the values of x are more than A, but they are less than or equal to B. So number line plus infinity here, minus infinity here, A, B. B is included and A is not included. All the values of x will be greater than A up to B. So how do I write it in terms of interval? X belongs to A, B. It is open at this end, left side, and closed at the right end. You can call it, it means A is not included, but B is included in the values of x. So you can call this as left open interval or right closed interval. This was about the intervals, how to represent a subset of real numbers in terms of intervals. Next point, cardinal number. Cardinal number of a set gives the number of elements in the set. Usually cardinal numbers are used only for finite sets because the number of elements are countable. Say for instance, I have a set A. Elements A, E, I, O, U. Okay. Now cardinal number of A is written as n of A. Number of elements in A. N of A. This n is called cardinal number. Number of elements in A. How much? 5. So cardinal number of A is 5. It means number of elements in set A is 5. They can be any elements. They can be any elements. So cardinal number basically represents the number of elements that are present in a particular finite set. Okay. There is no point saying cardinal number of R, capital R, set of real numbers. There are infinite real numbers. So cardinal number is not defined over there. So cardinal number exists only for finite sets. Next is power set. A power set is the set of all the subsets of a given set. Say for instance, for set A, its power set is represented as capital P of A, power set of A. It is better if we use the square brackets, power set of A, right? Capital P of A represents power set of A. Let's take an example. I have set A, x, y. There are two elements. Okay, let's write all the subsets of A. We know that null set is a subset of every set. It is a subset. Every set is a subset of itself. So x comma y is a subset of x comma y. Then element x, element y. So power set of A, it is a set of all the subsets. Right, children? So these are the subsets of A. The set that contains all these subsets is called the power set. Understood? How many elements are there in A? Number of elements in set A is how much? 2. Okay. Number of elements in power set of A. 4 elements. 4 elements. So from 2, in terms of 2, I have to represent 4, then I can write it as 2 power 2. This was just an example. Let's take another example. Three elements x, y and z. Let us write down all the subsets of A. Null set, the set itself, then x, y, z, x comma y, y comma z, x comma z. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number of elements in set A is 3. So in power set, number of elements in the power set of A will be, if I make this as a set, this becomes power set of A. So power set of A is this. How many elements are there? 8. In terms of 2, if I have to write 8, what is it? 2 power 3. Did you get any idea? In the previous set, we had 2 elements. So in its power set, there were 4 elements, that is 2 to the power 2. Here I have 3 elements. So 2 to the power 3, 8 will be the total number of subsets. So you can take an identity or say a formula or a shortcut. And what is it? If number of elements in A is equal to P, small p, number of elements in A is equal to P, then the number of elements in power set of A will be equal to 2 to the power P. So we can say number of elements in A, so total number of subsets of A will be 2 power P. If a set has P number of elements, then total number of subsets that are possible for that set will always be equal to P. If set A contains 4 elements, total number of subsets will be 2 to the power 4, that is 16. If it has 5 elements, total number of subsets will be 2 to the power 5, that is 32. One more thing, very important. Total number of proper subsets. There is a difference, children. I have explained earlier also, in yesterday's class also I have discussed. Like when we say if I ask you what are all the factors of 6. So you say 1, 2, 3 and 6. 1 is a factor of every number. Okay, the prime factors of 6 are 2 and 3. And we know that every number is a factor of itself. So 6 is a factor of 6. So all the factors of 6, suppose for 6, all the factors 1, 2, 3 and 6. Every number is a factor of itself but not a proper factor. 6 is a factor of 6 but it is not a proper factor. In the same way, every set is a subset of itself but it is not a proper subset. To be a proper subset, there should be at least one element less. So every set is a subset of itself but not a proper subset. So we know that if a set has p number of elements, then total number of subsets that are possible is 2 to the power p. So total number of proper subsets कितने हो जाएंगे? Very simple. इसमें से एक कम कर दो, reduce it by 1. So it will be 2 to the power p minus 1. Why minus 1? क्योंकि a set itself is a subset, है ना? Set is a subset of itself. उसे हटा दो. That should be removed. Okay? So total number of proper subsets for any set that has p number of elements is 2 to the power p minus 1. Total number of subsets is simple 2 to the power p. This was subsets and proper subsets. Okay? So we have discussed power set. Now today's last topic is universal set. In general, yeah, basically if you have to say, universal set is the parent set in the relevant context. Parent set means the set from which the given set has come. For instance, I have set B equal to A, E, I, O, U. So these are English vowels, letters. Where do they come from? They come from the set of English alphabets. So the universal set of B is the set of English alphabets. Hope you understood. We'll discuss later all the other topics. Till then, children, stay safe, stay healthy.